I've been playing gigs since about age 15, so I feel like I'm an expert when it comes to this topic. And the topic is how to annoy every sound tech and even get them to hate you. First off, it's good to remember that they get paid the big bucks to cater to your every need. Be nowhere near the stage when it comes time for sound check. Either be out in your car or outside smoking. It's a great time to relax. Time is precious. So make sure you noodle on your instrument and talk amongst yourselves when your other band members are sound checking. It's a great time to put in some of that last second practice for the songs you're going to be playing that night. When it's finally your turn to sound check, sing or play at least 50% quieter than you're actually going to play when the show starts. It's always fun to watch the sound crew freak out when you play that first song of the night. Use the incorrect hand signs when you're gesturing to the sound tech. So if something needs to be louder, don't go like this. Go like this. Make sure that you're staring off into space when it's your turn to sound check. I mean, it's the sound tech's job to get your attention anyway. And who knows, since you're daydreaming, you might come up with a cool song idea or something. Now, when you're finished daydreaming and you decide to start to play your instrument for your sound check, play about 3 to 5 seconds tops, and then completely stop. A very highly skilled sound tech should only need that amount of time. You inform the monitor tech that you need more and more of your own instrument in your monitor, okay? It's very important that you're the loudest thing on stage. Now, this is very important. If you play acoustic guitar and you need to plug it in, if it's an electric acoustic, be sure never to tell the sound guy that you're about to plug in. You're gonna plug in, you're gonna hear this gigantic boom. The whole place will probably shake, but it's a great way to wake up that sound crew and make sure they're paying attention. When it's finally time for the entire band to play for the full band sound check, argue amongst yourselves for at least a minute or two about which song to play. If you need to set your drink down somewhere during the show, you could set it on the monitors, you could put it on the power amp rack if you want to, or you could even put it on the monitor board. You want to take full advantage of the sound tech's gear. Be sure to sound cool by saying things like, hey, can you cut it at 10K? Or can you boost the bass at 200 hertz? The sound techs are always impressed by people who sound like they know what they're talking about. Wait till the sound tech is miking up your drum kit before you decide to start smacking your drums. Maybe you want to tune them. Just hold off, okay? Until they have their head real nice and close to that snare drum, and then give it a good smack. Not their head, obviously. The drum, silly. And drummers, don't be afraid to bring your full kit. Demand that they mic every single one of those drums up. Always blow directly into the microphone as hard as you can to make sure that it's working. And if you happen to have a wireless microphone, go ahead and point it directly at the monitor. Sure, you're gonna hear some feedback at first, but keep trying it until that feedback goes away. Turn your amps up as loud as you want. And if the sound guy, when the sound guy tells you to turn down, always counter with saying, would you ask Jimi Hendrix to turn down? And by the way, bonus points for bringing at least 2 Marshall stacks to even the smallest gig. Your gig, your gear. Bass players always refuse to use a direct box. That's amateur, that's bush league. You're a professional. So what you want to do is you want to demand that the sound tech use at least 2 microphones on your bass cab, and be specific about which microphones. We're talking about your tone here. Keyboardists, be sure to set all of your patches at different volume levels. This goes for guitar players and their pedals as well. The sound tech usually gets bored during the show, and this will give them something to do because they're going to have to ride your volume level throughout the entire show. Trust me, they will thank you for it. Now, before the show starts, be sure to inform the sound tech that you're actually going to be bringing in your Uncle Steve to run sound, so he's going to be standing behind the board and working those faders. Now, don't worry, the sound tech is actually going to enjoy and appreciate the time off, and your Uncle Steve is going to be able to live out his rock and roll dreams. Now, if you have a wireless system, this is huge. Jump off the stage and stand right next to the sound tech during sound check. That way you could tell them what to do and you can make them aware of any mistakes that they're making. They will appreciate it. If things aren't going exactly to your specifications, whether it's at sound check or during the show, angrily storm off the stage. It's really important to show these people who's boss. Now, don't even bother the sound tech by telling them about your surprise sitar circle jam that you do in the middle of your set that requires 4 more microphones. I mean, they're busy enough as it is. Instead, wait till right before the show to tell them. That way they've had a lot of time to just kind of chill out. Now, if something is bothering you during the show that has to do with the sound, make sure that you make big, obvious, angry gestures towards the sound tech. And then this is really important. After the song is done, announce to the entire crowd that it was the sound tech's fault and not yours. I mean, you didn't make the mistake, so why should you get the blame? And finally, when all is said and done at the end of the show, never tip the sound tech. Like I said earlier, they get the big bucks for running sound at these clubs and venues, and they don't need your charity. In fact, they'll think of it as an insult. On a serious note, I want to say some of my best friends are sound techs, and I've done some sound teching in my life, and it's a hard job, and I really appreciate everything you guys do, and keep it up. I know sometimes it can get rough. you feel underappreciated. So thanks to all the sound techs out there, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Okay, see you later. Bye.